Hey everybody, it's Bandor. I just finished the other video live stream on part 2, and I thought about it and I realized, oh, I should do a floor shadow. So instead of putting this into the next video, I'm just going to do a real quick video on how to do that. So here we are in Blender. There's our current version of our new sectional. We're going to add a ground plane for shadows, and that's called a plane. So you just do Shift A for add, then go to mesh and pick plane. Puts it right there. So let's go to the overhead view, and we're going to scale this up. And then there's no Z dimension on a plane, it's just X and Y. So we're going to make sure it's extends beyond the furniture a bit. And remember, this is not exactly centered on the X, so we're going to move this over a bit. So it's about the same distance on both sides. All right, and then we're going to scale it on the Y until it's about the same distance over there. Okay, and then let's go to the right view. And I want to pull that down to just underneath this. So let's go G, Z, and pull it down to just underneath there. Let's zoom in really tightly. And you can see there's still a gap. So G, Z to there. And then if we look underneath it, if you just see anything sticking through, you've gone too far. So that's pretty good. And then all you do is you just go to the Materials tab. With that selected, go to the Materials tab and do New. And enter a materials name. We're going to call this floor shadow. Okay. Then select everything and export it. We'll call that. And I can't see what I'm typing. Shadow. All right. So that's done. Now we'll go back to Substance Painter. And we'll update our project configuration to use this new one. Some people may be asking why I didn't UV map it. Well, it's a 2D thing and it's got a 2D UV map. So it's already done. I don't really need to adjust it. If I adjust it, then it would make it more accurate, but it doesn't matter. For this, it doesn't really matter. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I have to go bake. Bake, common settings, delete this one, put in the new one. Make sure these still say 256, and they do, and then hit bake. So what would happen if I actually did create a UV map? Then the UV map would only occupy a small portion of the overall 2D image. And then it's just a little harder to work with in Photoshop. See how it has a nice shadow on the bottom of this? Okay, so now we're just going to do File, Export Textures, and for the floor shadow, we're going to do the opposite. The only thing I want is the AO. I don't care about these. And then export. Okay. And then we're going to open up Photoshop. Which it's opening on my other screen, so I have to move it. Because I'm going to show you how to make a floor shadow out of this image. The AO image is going to be grayscale. Alright, so all you really need to do, I'm doing this on my other screen so you can't see what I'm doing on purpose, is open open that file we just saved, the floorshadow.ao file. Just open that in Photoshop. And here we go. There it is. It's open in Photoshop. Okay, so it's open in Photoshop. It's in the background layer, so you're gonna unlock that. You don't need to rasterize it because it came in as the background, so it's already rasterized. So this is how you do it. You add 3 layers. Bing, bing, bing. Move that to the top. In the topmost layer, fill it with white. Edit, fill. Why didn't it ask me? Edit. Oh, image mode. Okay, my Photoshop is acting up. Oh, no, it's not. I'm acting up. It popped up panels on the other screen and I didn't see them. That's why. So let's try that again. Edit, fill, and there it is. And we're going to fill it with white. And then on this one, we're going to fill it with black. And then this one, we're going to leave transparent like that. Okay, go back up to this one. And what we're going to do is, I had a brain fart. Control L for levels, which opens up somewhere. Because it's opening on my other screen and I can't access it for some reason. There we go. Because my cursor wasn't over there. OBS was interfering with it. Okay, so we have, this is your levels, and then you're going to drag this over. Oh, sorry. Before we do that, we need to use the magic wand and select the corners. That's not much, so my tolerance is only at 3, so let's go up to about 20 on tolerance and try that again. That's better. Let's try 30. That's good. Let's do that. We'll delete that so you get the white background. Okay. So that's good, but I want to have a little bit of white around the whole thing. So now I'm going to use the marquee tool, and I'm going to draw a box here, and I'm just going to delete. Just delete to give me a little bit of white at the edge. Come on. Oh, because I'm not, my layer got deselected, so that's why I was getting that error. Okay, there. So now I have white around the edges. I'm not a huge fan of that sharp corner right there. Usually that causes problems. So let's try the magic wand tool again. I don't think I did it down here. There. Now it's more rounded off. Okay. Now I can do Control L for levels. And there's a big gap here. So take this little triangle, click and hold down the left mouse button and drag it over to here. And as you get to here, you'll notice what's happening is that it's trying to level these gray scales to white. So it's starting at the edges, so that when that edge disappears and looks like it's blending into the white background completely. There's no sharp edges anymore. Yeah, there was a sharp edge here, but it's gone now. Hit OK. All right. Then go to the channels. If you don't have that open, you go to View and then Windows, and then pick Channels, and it'll appear. I already have it. Mine's right here. So you click on Channels, And then you click this little button right down here, which is load channel as a selection. So you click on that. That makes a selection in my channel. And then I'm going to invert that by doing select inverse. So that means it selects the opposite of what I had selected initially. Then you're going to fill that with black. Edit, fill, black, boom. Oh, no. Undo. We're still in the channel. So, okay. Go to layers, add a new layer, and we're going to do the fill on there. So the selection is all still there. You want me to do that again? All right, I'll do it again. So you can follow the steps. Okay. So we have our layer here. We're going to go to channels. We're going to hit the select button down here. We're going to do select inverse. Then we go back to layers, add a new layer, and with that new layer selected, edit fill with black. Then make sure you deselect. Then turn off the visibility of the original layer. Now we're looking at the new layer on a white background. And it looks good. I don't see any sharp edges. The shadows look good. Now let's look at them against a black background. It should be solid black. This way works and prevents you getting gray shadows. Sometimes if you do it other ways, you'll end up with a shadow that when you put it on a black background, it shows up as almost white. It looks white, like a light gray. It's because it's not done properly. So now on a black background, it looks right. And then turn that off so you can see it against a transparent background, and this is what it looks like. So then we're going to save this, and I do F2 for export. And then I'm going to export it. Don't look at that. Oh, good. It's on the other screen. You can't see it anyway. I'm not allowed to show adult content on my live stream. So I'm very careful about that. Okay, so here we are. I put it in my export as the same thing. It's called floor shadow. I spelled it wrong. Floor shadow, not shadow. Floorshadow.ao or _ao. That's the name of the file. Okay, that is saved. All right, now if I try okay, you need to see this part. Here I am back in Second Life. Tell everybody be quiet. Leave me alone. All right, we're gonna re-import the new mesh. Build, upload, mesh model, documents. This one with the shadow. And I don't care about the size for today. Just upload this and drag it out. And there it is in all its glory. And now it's floating in the air. So I have to drop it down so it's not floating in the air. I'm going to upload that image that I just did, which is in the export directory, floor shadow AO, this one. I corrected the spelling error. Upload it, and then we're going to drop that onto the floor. Boom. Now we have a floor shadow. And as far as the rest of the textures go, I'm going to copy them. Oh, another right here. Let's edit the wood. Diffuse. Normal. Specular. Then the cloth. Diffuse. Normal. Specular. And edit it. Turn the gray back to white. And there you have it. There is the sofa, the sectional sofa, and it has a floor shadow underneath it, or ground shadow. And in the last video, we talked about the fact that this is way taller than the other sectional that I have, that I was using as a reference. Well, I'm just going to shrink this down. Once I'm done with it in Second Life, I'll shrink it down until the height is correct. And then that just means that when I put the pose engine on it, I got to move a bunch of poses around. But that's okay. I'd rather have it, and that'll make it smaller because this is very big. Physically, it's just huge. And that'll get because the one I had before was huge. And I have got comments, oh, this is gigantic. It doesn't fit in my house. Well, that'll get this down to a reasonable size. In fact, it's about this big. It's much smaller when I'm done, right? But we'll do that at the end. Anyway, so that's enough for now. I appreciate everybody's attention and a little short live stream for this one. So anyway, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to stop it. So the next one will be part 4, where we do the pillows and maybe some other stuff to make it look more realistic.